I feel like I've always kind of had a drive to push myself to be the best at whatever I was involved in. In climbing, it was just the fact that if I was involved in the activity, I just wanted to be the best. And I just incorporated that mentality into my rock climbing. I am a professional rock climber. Ever since I was 14 years old, I've considered myself a professional rock climber. My name is Kai Lightner, and my home is Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Initially, it was just something to keep them busy. Everyone tells you to keep them busy. That's the best way to keep them out of trouble. No one ever told me that keeping them busy meant keeping me busy. That's the part that I think I didn't get initially.
I grew up as an ADHD kid, and so few activities keep my attention. Because climbing takes so much focus in order to be good at it, I had to focus in that small period of time, and I think that's probably why I like it so much, because like 2 hours would fly by and I wouldn't even notice.
Most of the kids that are really good in the sport, they come from a community where there are professional coaches, where there are really big gyms. In Fayetteville, there was never any competitive teams, no professional coaches.
In order to get the proper training that I needed, I had to travel elsewhere. During the week, I had to go to Raleigh to get training on tall walls and get endurance training so that I could be fit enough to compete against the nation's best.
When we came back home, a 6-year-old would not be expected to remember everything that he learned and do it on his own. So basically, they trained me to work with him during the month. And so teamwork, that was the only way that it was going to happen.
A lot of the times when I'm winning competitions, it's us winning them, you know? Like, even though technically her name isn't on the check or the trophy, it's definitely like a two-man job.
You did it quicker, less moves, and more efficient that time.
Make it look pretty and don't fall.
Okay, I just kidding.
We got stipulations.
Yeah. You know, at first I was begging you to do it, and once you agreed, it's like...
We don't want no mediocre.
Right. When he fails, his successes and his failures, I felt, they were ours. I think his lowest point in climbing was when he suffered a back injury. He was 16 at the time. He thought that his career was over. He was actually told by the doctor that they seriously doubted if he would ever be able to climb. Needless to say, it ended up taking 6 months total to repair, and he was back okay. His warm-up competition was the World Championship. That was his first competition back, and he came back with 2 silver medals. For an African-American kid, and I say that because there are not many minorities in the sport, especially when we started, to be able to rise in the ranks the way that he did, I just did not believe that his story would just end that easily.
I'm really blessed to have the opportunity to be able to travel all around the world and compete. But what makes me feel so grounded when I come back home is just the fact that I get to return to my roots and where I'm from, and I get to interact with the community that built me into the person that I am today.
Good holds on that direction.
And that's where the dish is.
Yeah, because you have like some really big holds, and then you just top out the highest part of the route instead of the kind of scooting around.
It's hard to put into words what I love most about rock climbing. It's kind of just a part of who I am. Whenever I'm stressed, I find climbing is just euphoric release. kind of forget about all the problems that I'm having, and I can kind of just enjoy myself and enjoy the movement of rock climbing. I grew up in North Carolina. I learned how to climb here. All my major friends from childhood, and my base climbing community is from North Carolina. When I first started climbing, the Olympics wasn't an option. To have the opportunity to represent my country in a way that I've never had in the past, it's amazing. But having it be there is something, a new goal to strive for. It's like the only televised thing where billions of people come together to watch. To be a part of that unity, especially in a time like this, is really special for me. When I was a kid and growing up in the climbing gym, I had a lot of other climbers who were older than me and bigger than me and better than me that I looked up to. To be where I am today and having little kids look up to me in that same way, it's really flattering, but I also recognize that I have a responsibility in myself to give advice to the next generation. I feel as if I have to set an example to make sure that I'm being the best role model that I can.